The most powerful thing you can do is look within and find the strength to keep going when others doubt you. Prove to yourself that you have the resilience to push through adversity and the courage to chase your dreams, no matter what. How often do you stop and ask yourself, am I really living up to my potential? We spend so much time trying to prove ourselves to others, but what about proving something to ourselves? Too many of us chase approval, but at the end of the day, it's our own belief in ourselves that truly matters. In this video, we're going to talk about how you can prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. Not by chasing perfection, but by taking small, intentional steps every day. If you're tired of feeling stuck and ready to start proving your worth to the one person who matters most, yourself, stick around. This could be the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Let's dive in. Number 1. Stand up today and take full control now. There comes a moment in every person's life when they have to make a decision, a real decision. Not a wish, not a maybe, a decision that says, I'm done waiting, I'm done blaming, I'm done handing over the power of my life to circumstances, to people, or to the past. That decision says, today is the day I take control. If you're waiting for someone to believe in you, that wait can last a lifetime. If you're hoping that one day everything will magically line up, that day may never come. And if you're putting your growth in someone else's hands, they'll never treat it with the care that you would. The truth is, no one is coming to push you. No one is going to wake you up early, plan your future, fix your mindset, or do the work. That's yours. And it starts right now. You have to look in the mirror and say to yourself, this is my life, and I'm the one responsible for how it turns out. Not your family, not your boss, not your friends. No one is living in your shoes. No one feels what you feel when you're alone and quiet and tired of starting over. Only you do, and the good news is, that's more than enough. You are enough, but you won't feel that way until you act that way. Taking control starts with being honest. Honest about your habits. Honest about your choices. Honest about the time you waste. Honest about the promises you've broken to yourself. It's not about beating yourself up. It's about telling the truth. Because only when you tell the truth can you start to change it. If you've been lazy, say it. If you've been afraid, admit it. If you've been avoiding the work, face it. That's where the strength begins. Not in pretending, but in choosing to do something about it. You know where you're falling short. And deep down you know what you need to do. It's not some mystery. You've thought about it. You've talked about it. You've probably even started it before. But now you need to own it. Completely. Like your life depends on it, because it does. See, when you take control, you stop waiting for motivation. You stop relying on good days. You stop needing applause. You do what needs to be done because that's who you are now. The moment you decide to take control is the moment your standards rise. You stop letting yourself off the hook. You stop making excuses sound reasonable. You start demanding more, not from the world but from yourself. You wake up differently. You move with purpose. You plan your day like it matters, because it does. You stop being a victim of time, and you start being the one who owns it. Every minute is now yours, and you can choose what to do with it. You can build, you can learn, you can grow, you can get stronger, or you can sit and wish it were easier. But make no mistake, one of those choices leads to power, and the other leads to regret. You're not here to impress people. You're not here to prove anything to the world. You are here to prove something to yourself. To show yourself that you are not defined by what happened to you, that you are not limited by your past or your doubts or the labels people gave you. You are stronger than that. You are more capable than you think. But you will never feel it if you don't step up and do something about it. It doesn't matter how slow you go. What matters is that you move with intention, with purpose, with discipline. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. You don't need all the answers. You need action, because when you take action, your confidence grows, your self-respect grows, and once that happens, you start to become unstoppable. Not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. Taking control isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily decision. You'll have to remind yourself every morning. You'll have to fight off doubt, laziness, and distraction. But if you stay with it, you'll begin to feel something shift inside you. A quiet kind of power. The kind that doesn't come from noise or attention, but from real, honest effort. From knowing that you showed up for the not for likes, not for praise, not for approval, but because you made a promise to yourself and you kept it. That's how you build a life you're proud of. One decision at a time. One day at a time. No shortcuts. No skipping steps. Just showing up and doing the work that most people avoid. That's how you stand out. That's how you gain real confidence. Because confidence isn't gifted. It's earned. Through discipline. Through effort. Through pushing yourself when you don't feel like it. Through finishing what you start. Through doing the small things right when no one is watching. And the best part, you don't need permission. You don't need a green light. You don't need everything figured out. You just need to start. Right now, today. With whatever you have. You don't need a new year. You don't need a better plan. You don't need more time. You need shut. Committed, focused, and ready to stop wasting potential. There's a version of you that's waiting to be proud of you, waiting to see you show up, waiting to see what happens when you stop talking and start doing. Don't make that version wait any longer. Don't let yourself down again. Stand up. Take ownership. Make this the day you say, I'm done sitting on the sidelines. I'm stepping into the driver's seat. You can become the person you respect. You can earn your own trust back. But only if you start now. Not later, not tomorrow. Now stand up today and take full control. You owe it to yourself to find out what you're really made of. And you don't prove that by words. You prove it by action. Number 2, push harder when no one is watching you. This is where it counts. Not when the cameras are on. Not when the lights are shining. Not when someone is clapping for you. The real test is what you do when it's just you. When the room is quiet. When there's no praise, no attention, no reward. Just effort. That's where you build the life you say you want. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants progress. But not everyone is willing to keep going when no one sees the work. The world is filled with people who start strong and fade. People who give their all when there's a crowd but fall off. When it's just them. But the ones who grow, the ones who get stronger, the ones who rise, they keep showing up when there's no audience. They keep doing the work when it feels like it doesn't matter. It's easy to be disciplined when someone's holding you accountable. It's easy to push when someone is checking your progress. But what about when it's late, and you're tired, and no one is looking? That's where you find out who you really are. That's when it's just you versus your excuses. And most people lose that fight. Not because they're weak, but because they never learned how to push without attention. You want to feel proud of yourself? Do the thing no one sees. Keep your word to yourself when no one's around. You know the standards you talk about when you're motivated. Keep those standards when motivation disappears. That's what separates those who wish from those who change. That's what makes someone trustworthy in their own eyes. Not how loud they talk about growth, but how quietly they practice it. You've got to learn how to push past the need for recognition. Not because recognition is bad, but because it's unreliable. Some days you'll get it, and some days you won't. If you build your habits around praise, you'll fall apart the moment it's gone. But if you build your habits around commitment, you can keep going no matter what. You don't rely on applause, you rely on your reason, and your reason has to be real. Not to prove people wrong, not to make people notice. It has to come from inside. A clear decision that says, I'm doing this because I refuse to waste what I've been given. You only get one body, one shot at this time, one chance to make your future something you're proud of. And the effort you put in when it feels invisible, that's what sets the tone for everything else. This isn't about working until you burn out. This is about not needing permission to give your best, not needing an audience to give your full effort. It's about holding yourself to a higher standard because that's what growth demands. You grow when you stop needing to be seen. You grow when you're driven by purpose instead of praise. You grow when you push, simply because you said you would. There will be days when no one texts to check in. No one asks how it's going. No one thanks you for what you're doing. Those are the days that count the most. Because those are the days when your only motivation is you. That's when you earn your self-respect. That's when you start becoming someone you can trust. Not someone who shows up only when it's easy, but someone who shows up because it matters. Think about how much time you've lost waiting to feel ready. Think about the progress you could have made if you'd pushed a little harder when you were alone. You can't get those days back, but you can make today different. You can take control right now. You don't need someone to say good job for it to be worth it. You don't need permission to give full effort. You just need to decide. Every extra rep, every late night of learning, every early morning of focus. These moments don't seem big, but they stack, quietly, day by day, and one day they turn into something powerful. Not a highlight reel, not a viral moment, but a mindset, a foundation, a way of living that keeps you going, long after others give up. You see, the person who only pushes when it's seen will always be controlled by other people. But the person who pushes in silence is free. They are powered by purpose, by drive, by a sense of meaning that doesn't change with the crowd. And that person becomes unstoppable, because nothing can distract them. Not boredom, not stress, not doubt. They've trained themselves to keep going regardless. It takes practice to get there. It takes consistency. It takes choosing effort, even when it feels small, even when it feels pointless, even when it feels like no one will notice. You don't need them to notice. You need to notice. You need to go to bed at night and say, I did what I said I would do. That's the kind of confidence that lasts. That's the kind of mindset that builds something real. People ask how to stay motivated. The answer is you don't. You stay committed. You stay focused on what you said matters. You don't wait to feel good to do the right thing. You do it because you made the choice to grow. You do it because you know the cost of quitting. You do it because giving your best is what you're here to do. So next time you find yourself alone, tempted to slack off, tempted to skip the hard thing, pause. Ask yourself, what would the best version of me do right now? Then do it. Even if it's tough. Even if it's boring. Even if it feels like it's not moving the needle. Because every time you choose effort over comfort, you take a step toward that better version of yourself. Don't rely on being watched to stay consistent. Rely on being aware of who you want to become. Aware of the time you're wasting when you don't give your best. Aware of the life you're capable of building. If you stay true to the process, that awareness should be enough to fuel your action. You want more confidence, more clarity, more results. Then start pushing when it's not fun. Start showing up when no one's watching. Start keeping your standards when no one's checking. That's where it starts. That's where the real power begins. Not in the spotlight, not in the applause, but in the dark. When it's just you and the decision to stay disciplined. And when you do that enough times, something changes in you. You start to believe. Not because someone told you to, but because you've shown yourself what you're made of. And no one can take that away from you.
Number 3. Do the hard work even when it hurts. Growth never shows up without struggle. The moment you feel pain, physical, emotional, mental, is the exact moment your mind tries to pull back. That voice in your head says stop, rest, give up, do it later, it's too much. And most people listen. Most people fold. They take the easier road. But if you're serious about changing your life, you don't get to do that. You don't get to stop just because it's uncomfortable. You do the hard work even when it hurts, because that's where the breakthroughs live. Pain doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. In fact, in many cases, it means you're finally doing it right. You're finally pushing past the surface. You're finally reaching into the parts of you that haven't been tested. That pain. That's your body, your mind, your emotions, stretching to keep up with your decision to become better. And yes, it's hard. It should be. That's the point.
When you work through pain, not around it, not away from it, but through it, you build something that can't be faked. You build resilience. You build grit. You build belief. Not the kind of belief that comes from talking big or setting goals, but the kind that comes from showing up with aching muscles, a tired mind, and a soul that doesn't feel like trying, and doing it anyway. Most people only work when they feel good. They give effort when the stars are aligned, when energy is high, when everything is going well. But life doesn't work like that. It throws curveballs. It brings stress. It brings failure. It brings fear. And if you've trained yourself to only work when it's easy, you'll collapse when things get real. But if you've trained yourself to move forward, no matter how heavy it feels, nothing can stop you. Every time you push through pain, you teach yourself that strength is a choice, that growth is a decision, that progress is not reserved for the lucky, it's earned by the consistent. It's earned by the people who don't need comfort to give their best. It's earned by the people who keep working, keep pushing, keep improving, even with tears in their eyes, fire in their chest, and pressure in their heads. It doesn't matter how slow it feels. It doesn't matter how far the goal still looks. What matters is that you keep moving. What matters is that you stay in the fight, even when your body begs for rest. Because pain is temporary. The results of your effort are not. If you quit, you live with the regret. If you push, you live with the result. And that's not just words, that's truth. When your mind says, I can't do this, prove it wrong. When your body says, I need to stop, give it one more round. When the task feels too big, break it down and handle the next step. You don't need to conquer everything in one day. You just need to keep showing up. Again and again. And again, no matter what it feels like. There will be days when it hurts to even start. Your back will ache. Your mind will resist. Your emotions will be flat. But start anyway. You will not grow stronger by avoiding these moments. You grow stronger by facing them and going forward despite them. That's what separates the committed from the casual, the dedicated from the distracted, the serious from the someday crowd. Your future isn't built in comfort. It's built in effort. Real effort. Focused effort. Effort that shows up when every part of you wants to stay in bed, skip the plan, or delay the goal. You can have excuses, or you can have results. You can't have both. When it hurts, keep working. Not recklessly. Not mindlessly. But intentionally. Listen to your body. Yes, but don't lie to yourself. Most of the time what we call pain is just resistance. It's the discomfort of growth. It's your old self fighting for survival. And you've got to choose what wins. Your excuses or your evolution. Start asking yourself the right questions. Are you avoiding the hard work because you're injured or because you're uncomfortable? Are you backing off because you truly need recovery or because you don't want to feel the fire? Most of the time, it's not injury. It's emotion. Most of the time, it's not danger. It's doubt. And if you can learn to tell the difference, you'll unlock something powerful inside you. Discomfort is not danger. Effort is not damage. Working through the hard stuff is how your limits expand. You want stronger discipline. Do the work when your energy is low. You want better focus. Show up when your mind is scattered. You want deeper confidence. Follow through when you'd rather shut down. Those moments build you, and you don't need anyone to see it. You just need to feel it, to know it, to own it. Most people will never experience this kind of self-respect because they never work through enough pain to earn it. They settle for easy wins. They collect shallow achievements. But you're not here for that. You're here to feel proud of who you are when no one's watching. You're here to become someone who knows their strength because they've tested it. When it hurts, lean in. You don't have to like it, but you do have to face it. You do have to choose effort over comfort every single time, because pain is not a sign to stop. It's a sign to go deeper. It means you've arrived at the place where most people give up. And if you can push through here, you set yourself apart. You create a version of yourself that can handle anything. This is about more than goals. It's about becoming someone who does hard things. Someone who doesn't fold under pressure. Someone who doesn't wait for motivation to move forward. Someone who shows up again and again with everything they've got, no matter how hard it gets. That version of you is already inside, but it only shows up when you choose to keep going through the pain. Not just once, not just when it's convenient. Every time, when it's early, when it's late, when it's quiet, when it's messy, when it's personal, you push through because you promised yourself you would. And you're not someone who breaks promises anymore. Do the hard work even when it hurts. Because the reward is not just the results, it's who you become in the process. And that person is worth every bit of pain it takes to get there.
Number 4. Take one action today that scares you. Fear will always try to run your life. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It tells you to stay quiet, to stay small, to wait for the right time, to avoid the risk. And most people listen. Not because they want to live in fear, but because fear feels familiar. It feels safe. But if you want to grow, if you want to become more, you can't let fear lead. You have to challenge it. You have to stand in front of it and do the very thing it's telling you not to do. And that starts with one action today. I don't mean something reckless. I mean something real, something meaningful. That thing you've been thinking about, but keep putting off. That conversation you've avoided. That move you've been afraid to make. That decision that feels too big, too bold, too risky. That's the one. That's the action you take today. Most people wait for courage to show up before they act. But that's not how it works. Courage doesn't lead. You do. Action creates courage. You don't become brave by thinking about being brave. You become brave by stepping into what you're afraid of. One move at a time. One decision at a time. One uncomfortable action at a time. Fear lives in silence, in hesitation, in overthinking. But the moment you move, the moment you do something, anything, you take that power back. You shrink fear. You expose it. You realize it's not as big as it seemed. And now you've got momentum. There's a voice inside you that wants more. It knows you're capable of more. But every day you don't act on that voice, it gets quieter. Every day you avoid the thing that scares you. Fear gets louder. And soon fear starts to feel like truth. It convinces you that you're not ready, that it's not the right time, that someone else should go first, that you're not enough. That is the trap. And the only way out is action. Pick one thing, not 10, not 5, just one. One thing you've been avoiding. One thing you've been nervous to face. Maybe it's sending that message. Maybe it's applying for the job. Maybe it's ending the relationship that's breaking you. Maybe it's starting the project you keep delaying. Maybe it's speaking your mind, asking the question, showing up for yourself. Whatever it is, do it today. You don't need to feel fearless to take action. You just need to be willing to feel nervous, willing to make mistakes, willing to be uncomfortable. That's what real strength looks like. Not the absence of fear, but action in the presence of it. You've lived long enough, letting fear decide how far you go. How many opportunities have you missed? How many chances have you passed up because you didn't feel ready? How many times have you watched someone else do the very thing you were too scared to try? That doesn't have to be your story anymore. You can change it today. This is how confidence is built. Not with motivational quotes. Not with positive thinking alone. With action, you earn confidence. You build trust in yourself every time you move in spite of fear. And the more you act, the more you realize you can. And once you know that, fear starts to lose its grip. Don't wait for everything to feel perfect. Don't wait for someone to tell you it's okay. Don't wait until the nerves disappear. Take the shot anyway. Move forward anyway. Fear will be there. Yes. But so will strength. So will growth. So will the life you actually want. But only if you move. Think about how different your life would be if you made a habit of facing what scares you. Think about the kind of person you'd become. The kind of opportunities you'd create. The kind of freedom you'd feel. Not because you never feel fear, but because it no longer controls you. Every meaningful change in your life starts with a decision to stop running, to stop avoiding, to stop shrinking yourself to stay safe. And every day you avoid fear, you give up a little more power, a little more time, a little more potential. That ends today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today,
You might be nervous. You might feel unsure, but do it anyway. And when it's done, when you've taken that one action, you'll see something shift inside. You'll feel stronger, not because the fear is gone, but because you moved anyway. And that feeling is everything. That feeling is proof. Proof that you don't have to live in fear anymore. Every day you choose to face fear. You build a life that's based on truth. Not on fear's story, but on your own. You start to live based on what matters to you. You start to move toward goals that felt impossible before. You start to walk with your head up, not because everything is perfect, but because you're proud of how you're showing up. So today, take the step. Say what needs to be said. Start what needs to be started. Do what fear told you to delay. And when it's hard, when your heart races and your hands shake, remember, that's not weakness. That's growth happening in real time. You've stayed in your comfort zone long enough. And what has it given you? Safety, maybe, but not progress. Familiarity, yes, but not freedom. It's time to challenge that. You are not here to hide. You are not here to play it safe. You are here to grow, to rise, to evolve. And that only happens when you do the thing that scares you. So take that one action today. Not later. Not after more thinking. Now. That action you've been putting off. That's the door to your next level. You don't need to know the whole path. You just need to move. One action. One brave step. And once you do, everything begins to shift. You've got more power than you think. But you'll never feel it until you step past fear. The life you want is on the other side of hesitation. So take it. Reach for it. Move toward it. Do what scares you today. And watch what happens next. Number 5. Break the excuses and face your real self. There comes a time when you have to stop lying to yourself. Not because someone told you to. Not because you read it in a book. But because the weight of pretending is starting to wear you down, and it's heavy. Carrying excuses, stories, and justifications for why you haven't done what you said you would do. You've said I'll start tomorrow more times than you can count. You've told yourself you're too tired, too busy, too unsure. But none of that is the real reason. The truth is, you've been hiding. Excuses are comfortable. They give you a way out. They let you avoid the pressure. They help you avoid the truth. But here's what they also do. They steal your life. They take your time. They waste your potential. And worst of all, they blind you to what's actually inside you. You can't build a better life on top of a pile of excuses. You have to clear them out. You have to get honest. You have to look yourself in the mirror and say, this is on me. And that's not weakness. That's not shame. That's power. Because when you take ownership, everything changes. You stop waiting. You stop blaming. You stop pretending the world owes you something. And instead you start moving. You start growing. You start showing up with real strength. Not the kind that looks good, but the kind that lasts. There is no progress without truth. And the truth is, you've been holding yourself back. Maybe you say you don't have time, but you spend hours distracting yourself. Maybe you say you're not ready, but deep down, you're just afraid of failing. Maybe you say it's not the right season, but how many seasons have passed while you stayed stuck? These aren't just thoughts. They're walls. And if you don't tear them down, they'll trap you forever. You don't need more time. You need more honesty. Because when you're honest with yourself, the excuses start to fall apart. You begin to see clearly. You realize the only thing between you and the life you want is you, not your past, not your parents, not your job, not your circumstances. You. And that's the best news you'll ever hear. Because if you're the problem, you're also the solution. You're not powerless. You're not stuck. You're just hiding behind a story that no longer serves you. And it's time to let that story go. You have to face yourself. Not the filtered version. Not the version you show others. But the real one. The one who knows exactly where you've been avoiding effort. The one who knows when you've been half committed. The one who knows what you're really capable of. And how far you've drifted from it. That's the person you have to meet. And yes, it's uncomfortable. But that discomfort is where change begins. Most people don't want to do this. They'd rather keep the illusion. They'd rather keep pretending that one day things will just magically shift. But you're not most people. You're here because something inside you is tired of the same patterns. You're tired of starting over. Tired of the talk without action. Tired of knowing you're meant for more but living like less. That feeling isn't wrong. It's real. And it's calling you to rise. But you can't rise while dragging dead weight. Excuses are dead weight. They don't move you forward. They keep you stuck in cycles. If you want change, you have to break them. You have to decide right now that you're done negotiating with yourself. No more hiding. No more blaming. No more waiting for perfect. You act even when it's uncomfortable. You take responsibility. Even when it stings. You do what's required. Not just what's easy. Start by identifying your excuses. Write them down. Say them out loud. Look them in the face. Don't run from them. Face them. I'm too tired. I don't know how. I've failed before. Good. Now you know what you're up against. And now it's time to destroy them. You're not too tired. You're drained from doing things that don't fulfill you. You're not unsure. You're just scared of taking the first step. You haven't failed. You've been trying half-heartedly. Be honest. And then move. Make a plan. Follow through. Keep your word to yourself. You don't have to fix your whole life today. But you do have to stop lying to yourself about why you haven't started. Because every day you feed those lies, you lose something valuable. You lose confidence. You lose time. You lose belief. And eventually you stop trying altogether. Don't let that happen. Choose different. Choose discipline. Choose truth. The truth is, you're capable of far more than you've shown. You have strength that hasn't even been tested. You have potential that's still waiting to be claimed. But it's only unlocked through effort, through honesty, through the decision to stop defending your limitations and start breaking through them. You won't get it all right. You'll slip. You'll stumble. But every time you show up with truth, instead of excuses, you'll build something powerful, self-respect. And nothing matters more than that. Not likes, not praise, not outside approval. What matters is that you know who you are when no one's looking. And you know you're showing up for real. So ask yourself, what have you been putting off? What story have you been using to stay small? What lie have you told yourself to avoid responsibility? Find it, name it, then break it. No more waiting, no more hoping, no more covering up the truth with fake reasons. Just action, just discipline, just a decision to become who you were always meant to be. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being real. It's about choosing progress over comfort. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you and stepping into what will. And that starts with one decision. Break the excuses. Face your real self. Not later. Not tomorrow. Right now.
Number 6. Earn your own respect through real effort. No one can hand you self-respect. You can't borrow it. You can't fake it. You don't get it through talk, through titles, through attention, or through what others think about you. You earn it. And the way you earn it is through effort. Not just showing up, but showing up for real. Doing the work that's required. Not when it's convenient, not when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Especially when no one's watching. You know when you respect yourself, it's not about being proud of what you said you would do. It's about being proud of what you actually did. You look in the mirror and you know whether you gave it everything or just enough to get by. You know whether you showed up with honesty or if you cut corners. And if you've been drifting, if you've been holding back, it's time to change that. If you want to feel proud of yourself, do something worth being proud of. If you want to feel strong, do what takes strength. If you want to respect who you are, then act like someone worthy of respect. Not once. Not occasionally. Every day, every choice. Because you build self-respect through consistency, through discipline, through doing what matters, not just what feels good. Most people spend their lives chasing validation from others. They want to be liked. They want to be seen. They want to be told they're doing well, and in the process they forget the most important approval comes from within. When you give your best, when you commit fully, when you hold yourself to a higher standard, that's when you start to respect the person you're becoming. That's when you walk taller.
Not because someone told you to, but because you've earned it. This isn't about being better than someone else. This isn't about proving yourself to the world. This is about proving to yourself that you follow through, that you keep your word, that when things get tough, you don't run. You stay, you fight, you finish. There's no secret formula. It's not about motivation. It's not about feeling like it. It's about deciding that you matter enough to try harder, that your life matters enough to stop settling, that your dreams deserve more than half effort. Because if you're not showing up for yourself, who will? Think about the last time you really pushed yourself, the last time you gave everything. Maybe you were tired. Maybe it was painful. But afterwards, what did you feel? That sense of pride, that feeling of I did that. That's not something you can buy. That's something you earn. And that feeling, it's worth every ounce of effort. Effort isn't glamorous. Most of it is quiet. It's early mornings, long nights, doing it again when you're sore, saying no when temptation knocks, choosing discipline over comfort, choosing progress over pleasure. It's hard. And that's exactly why it matters. You don't get stronger by avoiding the hard parts. You don't build confidence by staying in your comfort zone. You grow by going through it. You become who you admire by living the kind of life you'd admire. And that starts with the little things. The decisions you make when no one's there to see. The work you do when there's no applause. The effort you give when no one would blame you for quitting. That's where real self-respect is born. Every day is a test. Not in the way school taught you, but in the way life demands of you. Do you show up with purpose, or do you drift? Do you keep your promises to yourself, or do you break them? Do you do the work even when the results are far away? Or do you give up because it's easier? These questions matter, because how you answer them shapes who you become. You don't need to impress anyone, but you do need to look in the mirror and be able to say, I did everything I could today. Not as an excuse, not as a cover, but as the truth. Because you gave your all. And that truth, that honest earned truth, is what builds real confidence. You can tell when someone respects themselves. It's not in their words, it's in their walk, in how they carry themselves, in how they respond to difficulty, in how they handle pressure. It's not loud. It doesn't need attention. It speaks for itself. And the only way you get there is through effort. Stop waiting for permission. Stop asking for someone to believe in you. Believe in yourself enough to work. Not because it's easy. Not because it's fast. But because it's right. Because you're worth it. Because this is your life. And it's time to take full ownership of what you do with it. If you've made mistakes, if you've fallen behind, if you've broken your promises, that's okay. What matters is what you do next. Do you keep repeating those same choices? Or do you change? Do you show up differently? Do you recommit to becoming the person you said you wanted to be? Nothing changes until you do. You don't earn respect by avoiding difficulty. You earn it by walking through it. You earn it by doing the things that stretch you, the things that demand more than you thought you had. And when you push through, when you don't quit, something shifts inside you. You stop doubting. You stop comparing. You stop needing praise. You know who you are, because you've earned it. Start today. No more waiting for the right time. No more hoping things get easier. They won't. But you can get stronger. You can work harder. You can dig deeper. You can go beyond what you thought you were capable of. That's how respect is built. That's how it's sustained. So when you feel tired, do a little more. When you feel afraid, move forward anyway. When it's uncomfortable, lean in. Because every time you do, you're building something no one can take from you. Your own self-respect. And that's more valuable than anything this world can offer. Earn it. Through your work. Through your focus. Through your consistency. Through your refusal to quit. When it's hard. That's how you prove to yourself that you're worthy. Not because you say it. Because you show it. Through action. Through real effort. Every single day.
Number 7. Wake up earlier and start building your life. There is power in the early hours. When the world is still quiet and your mind hasn't yet been pulled in 100 directions, that's your moment. That's when you have a choice to get up and take control of your life, or to stay in bed and let another day pass by without progress. And the truth is, every day you delay,
Every morning you waste, you are choosing to stay the same. Your future isn't waiting for the perfect time. It's waiting for your decision to take responsibility right now. And that decision begins the moment you open your eyes in the morning. You can hit the snooze button on your alarm, but you can't hit the snooze button on your life. Every morning is a chance to get ahead, to take back control and to move one step closer to the person you want to be. People talk about dreams, they talk about goals, but not enough people get up early enough to make them real. You say you want change. You say you want to be better. Well, then prove it. Get up and do something about it. Not tomorrow, not next week. Start today. The earlier you rise, the sooner you begin to shape your life with purpose. You don't need to wake up with motivation. You need to wake up with discipline. That's the difference between talkers and doers. Motivation is nice, but it doesn't last. Discipline, that's what moves mountains. And it starts with your morning. It starts with you saying, I'm not waiting for life to happen to me. I'm going to make it happen. It doesn't matter if you've never been a morning person. That's just a label. You can change that. You can train your body and mind to rise earlier. You can build new habits. You can shift your priorities. But you have to want it bad enough to push through the resistance. The first few days might be rough. You might feel tired. You might want to go back to bed. But if you stay committed, that discomfort fades, and it gets replaced by pride and momentum. Think of what you can create in those early hours. Clarity, focus, progress. When no one else is around to distract you, you have the space to think, to plan, to work. You get to decide how your day begins, instead of reacting to it. That's power, that's control, and that's what most people miss out on because they're too comfortable in their routines. Waking up earlier is not about sacrificing sleep, it's about respecting your time. Go to bed with purpose. Get up with intention. Set a routine that aligns with the life you want. Use those early hours to invest in yourself. Read, learn, move your body, work on your craft, prepare your mind, plan your day, stack up the wins before the world even gets going. Success doesn't just happen, it's built. And it's built in those small, consistent choices you make every single day. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You just need to start. And waking up earlier is a powerful place to begin, because it sets the tone for everything else. It's not just about time, it's about energy. When you wake up with purpose, you carry that energy through your whole day. You're not rushed. You're not scattered. You're not running from one thing to the next without direction. You're grounded. You're prepared. You're leading your life instead of following it. Some people will say it doesn't matter, that it's just another hour. But if you've been coasting, if you've been making excuses, if you've been letting time slip away, then yes, it matters. That 1 hour could be the difference between staying stuck and breaking through, between just getting by and actually growing. Your habits shape your future, and your morning routine is one of the most powerful habits you can build. It's not just a checkbox, it's a statement. It says, I care enough about my life to show up early for it. It says, I'm not here to waste time. I'm here to make it count. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter where you're starting from. What matters is what you're willing to do now. Are you willing to get up an hour earlier to work on yourself, to work on your goals, to improve your mind, to take control of your life? That's the question. And if your answer is yes, then act like it. Set your alarm. Put your phone across the room. Prepare your clothes the night before. Make it as easy as possible to follow through. Remove the excuses before they even show up. Because once you start showing up consistently, your confidence grows. Your discipline grows. Your belief in yourself grows. And that's how change begins. Waking up early doesn't make you successful, but what you do with that time can. Use it wisely. Don't waste it scrolling. Don't waste it complaining. Don't waste it on distractions. Use it to build. Use it to learn. Use it to grow. Do the work that matters. Do the work that moves you forward. And understand this. No one is coming to do it for you. This is your life. This is your responsibility. And if you want more purpose, more freedom, more confidence, more control, it starts with how you spend your time, especially the time most people sleep through. So wake up earlier, even when it's hard, even when it's cold, even when your bed feels more comfortable than your ambition. Get up, stand up, begin again, not because it's easy, because you're ready, because you're tired of staying the same, because you're tired of waiting. Start building your life, not the one others expect from you, but the one you truly want. Brick by brick, choice by choice, morning by morning. Don't let comfort steal your progress. Don't let delay steal your potential. You're not here to just exist. You're here to live with intention, with strength, with purpose. So rise early, own your time, build your future, and do it now.
Number 8. Show up strong even when you feel weak. There are days when your energy will be low, when your heart feels heavy, when your body is tired, when your thoughts are not clear. That's part of being human. You're not going to wake up every day with fire in your chest and power in your stride. Some days it will feel like a struggle just to get out of bed, and that's exactly when you need to show up stronger than ever. Strength isn't about how you feel, it's about what you choose to do despite how you feel. That's where your real power lives. When everything in you wants to pull back, but you decide to move forward, that's not weakness. That's courage. That's character. That's what builds a strong foundation inside you. Anyone can show up when they feel good. Anyone can perform when the wind's at their back. But you don't grow in those moments. You grow when it's hard. You grow when it's uncomfortable. You grow when every part of you says, "Not today," and you answer, "I'm doing it anyway." If you wait to feel perfect, you'll never get started. If you wait for motivation, you'll keep stalling. But if you decide to show up regardless, no matter how drained, no matter how discouraged, no matter how heavy life feels, you will begin to earn a kind of confidence that no one can take from you. We're not built through ease. We're built through adversity. And the strongest people you've ever admired, people who hold themselves with quiet power and quiet pride, they didn't get there by chance. They got there by doing the hard things when they least felt like it. They built their strength in private, in silence, when no one else saw it. They didn't need applause to keep going. They just needed the belief that their effort mattered. And that's what you have to carry. A belief that even your smallest effort on your toughest days still counts, especially on those days. When you feel broken but you still take the next step, when your heart is hurting, but you still show up with your best. That's not weakness. That's not failure. That's strength most people never tap into. You don't have to smile when you're tired. You don't have to fake happiness. This isn't about pretending. This is about rising anyway. It's about holding the line. It's about staying committed to what you said you'd do, even when the feeling that started it is gone. That's maturity. That's discipline. That's how real lives are built. Most people back off when it gets tough. They make excuses. They wait for easier days. But those who push forward despite the wait, those are the ones who separate themselves. Because showing up isn't just about checking a box. It's about proving to yourself that your word means something. That your effort is not conditional. That you keep going. Not because it's easy, but because it's right. And sometimes showing up strong just means staying in it. It means doing the work, not impressing anyone, not chasing perfection, just staying present, just showing your face, just refusing to let difficulty decide the outcome. When your mind says stop, but your feet keep moving, that's strength. When you're overwhelmed but you still get the job done, that's growth. And when everything feels like it's falling apart inside you but you still choose to give your best, that's how you build something unshakable. You don't have to shout it. You don't have to prove anything to anyone else. Just prove it to yourself. Prove that you can keep going. That you can be tired and still be effective. That you can be afraid and still be brave. That you can feel weak and still be strong. Because strength isn't about never struggling. It's about how you respond when the struggle shows up. It's about your decisions in those moments of doubt. Are you going to sit back and hope it passes? Or are you going to rise up and face it head on? You're stronger than you think. You've already survived things you thought would break you. You've already come through dark moments. You've already carried more than you believed you could. So don't forget that. Don't overlook your own strength. Draw from it.
Build on it. Keep going. And remember, showing up strong doesn't mean being loud. It doesn't mean pretending you're okay. It means you're willing to keep your commitments. It means you give your best with what you have. Even if it's not perfect. Even if it's less than yesterday. That consistency day after day is what builds a life you can be proud of. There will be days when the world doesn't understand you. When your pain feels invisible. When your efforts go unnoticed. But you're not doing this for attention. You're doing it because you know your life is worth the effort. Because you refuse to let temporary feelings define your long-term future. So when the next hard day comes, and it will, don't look for an escape. Don't wait for things to get easier. Dig in, push forward. One step, one action, one moment at a time. That's how real resilience is born. It's not the loud victories that define you. It's the quiet ones. The ones where no one saw you struggling but you kept moving. The ones where you doubted yourself, but you still showed up. That's where greatness begins. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. When it's just you, your pain, and your decision to rise. This is your life. These moments matter. They shape you. They form your mindset. They train your spirit. So stop waiting for easier. Show up now. Show up tired. Show up hurt. Show up scared. But show up strong. Because that's what separates those who wish from those who become. You don't need perfect conditions. You need courage. You don't need more time. You need more heart. And you already have it. You just have to use it. Even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Because the day you stop letting your feelings control your actions is the day you take your life back. And on that day, you won't just show up. You'll rise up. You'll lead. You'll overcome. You'll become the person you've always wanted to be.
Number 9. Challenge your comfort and chase real growth. Growth doesn't happen where it's easy. It doesn't show up when you're relaxed, when you're doing the same thing you've always done, or when you're playing it safe. Real growth, the kind that changes your life, your mindset, your results, lives outside your comfort zone. And if you want to become more, you have to go get it. You have to chase it, not wait for it. Comfort is silent, but it's dangerous. It keeps you where things feel good. Even when deep down you know you're capable of more. It tells you you're fine, even when you're stuck. It rewards you with peace, but robs you of progress. And most people never challenge it. Most people stay there, not because they can't do better, but because they won't step into the unknown. But the life you want, it's not inside your current habits. It's not in what's easy. It's in what's challenging. And if you want that life, you have to leave the comfort behind and start making choices that stretch you. Ask yourself, when was the last time you truly pushed yourself? When was the last time you did something that made you nervous? Something that tested your patience? Something that forced you to grow? If you can't remember, then it's time to make a change. Because no matter how much you want success, success only comes to those who are willing to get uncomfortable. It's not about reckless decisions. It's about deliberate challenges. It's about doing what's difficult, because you know what's on the other side. You have to face discomfort on purpose. Speak when you'd rather stay silent. Start when you don't feel ready. Commit when fear wants to hold you back. Those moments matter. That's where the shift begins. Growth feels like resistance. It feels like sweat. It feels like uncertainty. It doesn't feel easy or smooth or predictable. It feels like showing up to the gym when you're tired. It feels like starting the business when others doubt you. It feels like learning a new skill, even when it frustrates you. And that's the point. If it's not pushing you, it's not growing you. You have to make discomfort a part of your routine. Make it a goal. Look for it. Seek out the hard things, because the hard things build you. They test your commitment. They sharpen your focus. They raise your standards. Comfort feels good, but growth feels better. When you challenge yourself and win, you walk away stronger. You build belief. You start to trust yourself more. You stop avoiding struggle and start embracing it as the path to something better. Think of your biggest goals, the ones that matter most to you. They will demand more than what you're currently giving. They require new habits, better focus, stronger decisions.
And you won't get there with the same level of effort you've always given. You have to stretch. That stretch might mean waking up earlier. It might mean facing failure. It might mean cutting off distractions. It might mean stepping into new rooms where you feel uncomfortable. But each of those choices builds your future. Not one of them is easy. But all of them are worth it. You grow when you stop choosing comfort over purpose. You grow when you stop hiding behind excuses. You grow when you stop telling yourself maybe later, and start acting now. If you're not growing, you're settling. And settling is just a quiet way of giving up. Real growth isn't exciting at first. It feels awkward. You'll doubt yourself. You'll make mistakes. You'll want to quit, but keep going. Because on the other side of that pain is progress. On the other side of that fear is strength. And on the other side of your comfort zone is the version of you you've been searching for. Challenge doesn't mean chaos. It means structure. It means discipline. It means building a life that demands your full attention. Not because it's falling apart, but because you've chosen to rise above average. This world rewards the people who take charge of their own development. Not the ones who wait to be ready. Not the ones who only move when it's convenient. But the ones who raise their hand, step forward and say, I'm not settling here. I'm going higher. If you're always doing what you're comfortable with, you're repeating the past. And if you're repeating the past, you're not building a future. You're not meant to live the same year over and over. You're meant to evolve. That evolution comes with risk, with doubt, with discomfort, but it also comes with rewards you can't even imagine yet. Start with one challenge today, not 10. One, something you've been avoiding, something you've been scared to try, something you've talked about but haven't acted on. Face it, push through it, feel the discomfort and do it anyway. That's the beginning of growth. That's the path forward. People who grow live differently. They think differently. They don't ask, what's easiest? They ask, what will make me better? And then they go do it. Tired or not, scared or not, they've made discomfort their teacher. And because of that, they rise. You don't need to be perfect to start. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be willing. Willing to do what most people won't. Willing to feel out of place. Willing to be a beginner. That willingness, that's rare. That's power. So stop chasing comfort. It won't take you where you want to go. Challenge yourself. Push your limits. Face what makes you nervous. Choose growth, even when it feels uncertain. Because once you do, once you start stacking those hard wins, you'll never want to go back. Growth changes everything. It gives you options. It builds resilience. It earns you respect from others. Yes, but more importantly from yourself. And that kind of respect, that's earned through effort, through action, through rising above the ordinary. So today make the decision, not next week, not someday. Now challenge your comfort, chase growth, step into the hard things, and watch how your life begins to transform. Not because it was easy, but because you were willing to rise. Number 10. Stay disciplined when your mind says quit. There will be moments in your journey where every part of you wants to stop. The fatigue will set in. The doubts will creep in. The voice in your head will tell you that it's not worth it. That you're not good enough. That you've given enough already. But here's the truth. That's when your discipline is tested the most. That's when your growth happens. Not in the moments when everything is going right, but in those moments when it feels like everything is going wrong, and you decide to keep going anyway. The mind will tell you to quit because it's looking for relief. It's seeking comfort. It wants you to stay in what's familiar. Even if what's familiar isn't what's best for you, the mind will convince you that you've done enough, that you've given enough. But in reality, you've just touched the surface of what you're truly capable of. When your mind says quit, that's when you've only scratched the surface of what you can achieve. It's easy to be disciplined when things are going smoothly. It's easy to stay on track when motivation is high, when the path is clear, and when you feel energized. But discipline is not about those moments. It's about what you do when things get tough. It's about showing up even when you feel exhausted. It's about sticking to the plan when the road ahead seems uncertain. It's about continuing the work when everything inside of you says, this is too hard. This is where the real power of discipline comes in. It's not about being perfect. It's not about doing everything with flawless execution. It's about showing up when you don't feel like it. It's about pushing forward when the easiest thing would be to quit. Every time you choose discipline over your emotions, you are creating the foundation for success. You are proving to yourself that you are stronger than your impulses, stronger than your doubts. The challenge of staying disciplined in those moments when your mind says quit is the greatest test of your commitment to your goals. When the mind tells you to stop, it's because it wants to protect you. It wants to shield you from discomfort, from struggle, from pain. But you are not here to stay in a place of comfort. You are here to build, to grow, to push past your limits. You are here to achieve more than what feels easy. You will encounter challenges, obstacles that seem impossible to overcome, moments of doubt that make you question your path, and times when your energy is drained and your will feels weak. In those moments, your discipline is the anchor that keeps you from drifting off course. It's the force that keeps you grounded, keeps you focused, keeps you moving forward, even when everything in you wants to stop. Discipline is about commitment. It's about making the decision to keep going, even when it's hard, even when you feel like giving up. It's not about how you feel in the moment. It's about your actions, your decisions, your consistency. It's about the work you put in when no one is watching, when the applause isn't coming, when the reward seems distant and the path is unclear. The true test of discipline is not how you act when things are easy, but how you act when things are hard. It's about showing up when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when you're discouraged. It's about doing the work even when the results aren't immediate. Discipline is the ability to keep going when the world tells you to stop, when your emotions scream at you to quit. And here's the thing, every time you push through, every time you stay disciplined in the face of resistance, you build a stronger version of yourself. You strengthen your resolve. You prove to yourself that you can handle more than you thought possible. You gain confidence in your ability to keep going, even when the road gets tough. And with every challenge you overcome, you become more capable, more powerful, more resilient. But it's not just about doing the work. It's about how you do the work. Are you doing it with passion, with purpose, with intention? Or are you going through the motions, counting the minutes until you can stop? True discipline is about fully committing to what you're doing, no matter how small it may seem. Every task, every step, every action matters. The way you do something is the way you do everything. And if you can stay disciplined when the going gets tough, you'll find that you can apply that same level of discipline to every area of your life. When your mind says quit, you have a choice. You can listen to it, or you can decide that you won't be controlled by your emotions. You can decide that you won't let temporary discomfort or fear hold you back. You can choose to push through, to keep going, to stay committed to your goals. But here's the catch. You can't rely on motivation alone. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. Some days you'll feel on top of the world, and other days you'll feel like you can't go another step. That's why discipline is so important. Discipline doesn't rely on how you feel. It's a decision. It's a commitment to your goals, to your future, to your growth. No matter what obstacles come your way, staying disciplined when your mind says quit is about becoming the kind of person who doesn't give up, who doesn't back down, who doesn't throw in the towel when things get difficult. It's about developing the mindset of someone who understands that growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from pushing through the hard times, from facing adversity head on, and from continuing the work even when it's tough. You won't always feel motivated. You won't always feel energized. You won't always feel confident, but you can always choose to stay disciplined. You can always choose to keep going, to push through, to do the work. And the more you do this, the stronger your discipline becomes. The more it becomes a part of who you are. So the next time your mind says quit, don't listen. Keep going. Push through the doubt. Push through the fatigue. Push through the frustration. Because when you do, you'll find that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. You'll find that you can handle challenges you thought were impossible. You'll find that you have the power to shape your own future, one disciplined decision at a time. Discipline is what separates those who achieve from those who don't. It's what turns dreams into reality. It's what transforms obstacles into opportunities. So stay disciplined. Keep going. Because your future self will thank you for it.